Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is often described as a Star Wars film that will have and introduce many different twists and turns, as well as revelations in this film that will lead to saga-wide implications within the Skywalker saga. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So, looking at Episode 9, with now just under 6 months away from its release, we are getting closer to when we will finally be able to see this movie with each and every month that passes by. A lot of fans are very eager and excited to see exactly what J.J. Abrams' vision is really going to look like for Episode 9 once it hits theaters this December of 2019. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the plans by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and crew, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the plans during reshoots for the month of July and, of course, August, director J.J. Abrams is to adjust one of the scenes for the third act of the film that is described to be vital to the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey, as well as the Force itself. It's described that one of the plans is to create a new version of Anakin Skywalker in his third phase as a Force ghost, where they plan to make him an older man by also using actor Hayden Christensen with a mixture of aging technology through a mixture of CGI and makeup, showing the fans the third and final phase of Anakin Skywalker's light side Force ghost, though JJ still has plans to introduce the Anakin that fans loved in the prequels at the end of Episode 6, and even Sebastian Shaw's version. However, JJ is set to create his original version of Anakin Skywalker's Force ghost as an old man, separate from the Shaw design. So far, these are said to be 3 phases of Anakin's Force ghost that are planned. His young self from Episode 3, a middle-aged version which is said to be a mixture between Shaw and Christensen, and lastly, JJ's original vision, separate from any inspirational material, creating a very old take on the character. The sequence is said to be a sequence where Anakin reveals himself in the netherworld of the Force before the eyes of both Kylo Ren and Rey, while he is next to Luke Skywalker, Yoda, and even Obi-Wan Kenobi. So the thing that really gets me about this is that this is JJ's way of really evolving Force ghosts and what they're able to do in the Star Wars universe and what the Force allows them to do, right? So we've seen this as an example by Rian Johnson, and honestly, I understand the criticism 100%. I myself, I wasn't totally on board with how Force ghosts now have ultimate powers, where in The Last Jedi, Yoda was able to use a bolt of lightning and strike it against a tree. Still to this very day, that's not really explained in great depth, other than that the Episode 9 film will actually understand, or should make the fans understand, I should say, something to do with the evolution of Force ghosts. That's going to be one of the focus points of Episode 9. And I think that when we look at Episode 9, right, the fact that they're trying to do something as incredible as this, where we get to finally see the netherworld of the Force and exactly what it's going to look like, what Force ghosts are going to be associated with the scene that show themselves and reveal themselves in front of both Kylo Ren and Rey, one of which is going to be Anakin Skywalker himself, transitioning from his younger self, a middle-aged version, and then to a far older version of Anakin Skywalker. So we will be seeing a very old version of Anakin in his third and final phase. Now, who knows exactly what that's going to look like? It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how J.J. Abrams is going to put all that together and how it's really going to transition from the first to the third phase. So, with that being said, we do know that this movie also is going to offer next-generation CGI. So I wouldn't get too worried about the use of CGI in order to age Christensen or even to provide makeup while also applying CGI to his face in order to create an older version of Anakin Skywalker. Now, what does this mean about the middle-aged version? It's said to be a mixture of Sebastian Shaw and Hayden Christensen. So it's going to be an updated version from what it seems for the middle-aged version of what we saw at the very end of Episode 6, even though in my point of view, Sebastian Shaw at the very end of Episode 6, the original version of course, the original Anakin, was an older man already in and of itself. So the fact that JJ is creating his own version of an older version of Anakin Skywalker is going to be very intriguing to see exactly how that's really going to work. Now, aside from all of this, Anakin Skywalker is said to appear next to Luke, his own son, Yoda, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? So what I like about that is that this is, of course, giving us a beautiful reunion of the most popular characters in the Star Wars franchise, without a doubt, right? I mean, it's pretty safe to say that they are the most popular characters. You got Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Anakin Skywalker, and it just makes total sense for JJ in order to plan to do this for the third act of the movie that would actually transition to the netherworld of the Force sequence. So I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and what you think about Anakin Skywalker's Force Ghost and how JJ plans to create an older version of him in the netherworld of the Force itself before both Kylo Ren and Rey's eyes. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.